In the name of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. Please be seated. There was a lot of talk around the cross that day. People were talking non-stop. A lot of conversations took place on that day. There were very many people who had some interest in what was going on. A man was being crucified along with two others, and there was much to talk about. If you look at those people who were talking around the cross, what you're going to see is four different kinds of people. They had their own agenda, and they were talking about what was going on. And there was one group that did not talk at all. They were looking with dismay at what was going on. They were the voiceless people around the cross. But these four groups were very, very vocal. The one group was the authorities of the church, the high priests, Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes. They were all standing around. They wanted somehow Jesus to be killed. They wanted to do him away. Somehow this is going to be his end, because he cannot claim again as the Son of God. Of course, that is very much against our belief system. No one can claim such a thing. And they did their best. And they convinced Pilate. And the conversation still goes on around the cross, thinking that something would happen. Jesus can pull off one more miracle. He might be able to save himself. He might be able to do something to get himself out of this mess. So they are waiting eagerly, doubting whether he'll be able to do that. But at the same time, they were challenging him. This is the first group that is challenging Jesus. Come out of the cross. Show your power. You have the power. If you have the power, do it. And there was another set of people standing around. They had a job to do. They were the soldiers. They were walking around, looking at whatever has to be done, and they had done their job. They had erected the cross beam. They had punished him. They had really bruised him, put a crown of thorns on him, and they were also challenging. Jesus heard this challenge. If you are the Son of God, save yourself. And there was another group. They were the onlookers. They were just wanting to watch what was going on. And they were also there, and they also had their own doubts. And they were saying, if this man could raise the Jerusalem temple in 3 days, rebuild the temple in 3 days, why can't he come down from the cross? There again, they were taunting him. He has promised so many things. So why can't he do something and come down from the cross? Save yourself. Then, of course, there were the other people who stood by, and they did not know what to do. Helpless. In all this, you are going to see a man looking at all what is going on and hearing all these conversations, and he is looking upward to his Father with excruciating pain. And he doesn't know what to do at the moment. Think about this for a second. If you happen to hit your knee against one of these chairs, and you will feel the pain. And the next 5 minutes, your whole world will be in pain. You cannot think of anything else. Think about this man with such agony and pain, rising above that pain and looking at the people and speaking to them. And what did he say? Father, forgive them. They do not know what they do. How is he able to forgive the people who had just laid down their hammer and nails? And he is looking at them and saying, you have no idea what you are doing. I'm going to tell my Father to forgive you. Somehow Jesus is conveying to us on this Good Friday, the center of Christianity is forgiveness and nothing else. I know only two kinds of people in the world, sinners and forgiven sinners. These are the only two that I know. And Jesus is praying to God to forgive them. He has preached about forgiveness. If you look at Matthew 5, 6, and 7, his Sermon on the Mount, on the mountainside, he has spoken about forgiveness. Turn the other cheek. Walk an extra mile. All kinds of things he talked about in human relationship, reconciliation. Now he is challenged by his own ethic on the cross. There is a wonderful word in Hebrew called dabar. Dabar is the word for word. That's a word that is used for word. Dabar in Hebrew means not only speaking word, but also action. Here is a man who spoke forgiveness to the people around. Now he's showing what he has done. He is saying that this is the way to go. He was able to rise above his pain. Look at his God. Look at the people and speak of forgiveness. And then, of course, hated by people. He was crucified by hate. But love speaks from the cross. He speaks 7 words from the cross. Those 7 words are sermons, his final sermons. Somehow he made use of that cross as a pulpit to speak to the people how to live. I'm reminded of a story from my own tradition. There's a lot of legends in the Hindu religion. I was reading one of them recently. There was a sage who wanted to do his meditation, because the Hindu sages will go for days and months for meditation without food, without water. So this man decided, he's an old man, he decided to go to the river Ganges, on the banks of river Ganges, and meditate upon God. He was there for a week. No food, no water, nothing. So after his meditation was over, he got up. He was prepared to go home. On the way, he saw a fallen branch of a tree, and a scorpion was tangled in that tree. So he decided to help the scorpion. So he went and touched the scorpion to get the scorpion out of the tangle that it was in. And you know what the scorpion will do. It just stung. And then, of course, he tried it again and again, with no success. And by that time, the poison of the scorpion started getting into his bloodstream. And he felt lightheaded, and he was about to fall. And then he heard a voice from behind. A young man was walking by, and he said, "You old fool, you will die trying to save this creature." And the old man said this. Listen to this, what he said. He said, "It is the nature of the scorpion to sting. It doesn't know anything else. But that should not prevent me from exercising my nature of saving it." look at the cross, you're going to see a love that surpasses everything that we know. After all, the gospel is loving the unlovable. The cross is a reminder not only about forgiveness, but also that we are loved no matter what. We are God's beloved. Somehow, some way, the nature of God is to simply save and to love. And as we meditate on the cross, and we move towards Easter, let us for ourselves think in terms of how much we are loved, in spite of who we are and what we are. May that love be available to us every moment of our lives, so that the cross can be a reminder every day to go out in the world and love without any limits at all. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.